You managed to get back from 2-0 to scoring 2 goals, taking 2 penalties, but why did you make it so hard on yourselves tonight?
But it doesn't. In the end, doesn't matter if we recover or not. It's the signs that the team gave during the game, the beginning of the game. So I know that the best team won, the only team that was on the pitch. The best players lose because one team can win against any group of players, and I think that the team and the players spoke really loud today. So that's it, and we lost. The best team won.
The team and the players spoke really loud. What do you mean by that? Could you?
Yeah, I think it's really clear what they spoke. So let's move on from this day, and I think was really clear for everybody what happened today.
You spoke about bad signs. Let's break them through a little bit. Defensively, why do you think they had so much space, especially in the first half?
I don't know. It's not just the space, but the way we start the game without any intensity, all the idea of the pressure. We were completely lost, and it's hard to explain. That's why I think they spoke really loud.
You've been talking about intensity since last season. Did you see many of the same mistakes from last season?
Yes, I think that is the problem. When you lose, but you see something new, is different. When you see something that, like today, it's hard to talk about that. I just want to say I'm really sorry for the fans. The support that they gave me, and the support that always, with all the defeats, that they helped the team today. Have nothing to say. I'm really sorry.
When you see the same mistakes as a manager, what do you think you can do differently? Because you had a pre-season with them, you had last season, and now you have the start of the season. What do you think you can do differently?
I think they spoke a little. I think they gave the response on the pitch today. So I don't need to talk about that. So I just want to now we have a game in the weekend, and then we have 2 weeks, and we will solve things out.
Just a final one, sorry. Of course, there are a lot of problems in today's performance, but also Onana had a really bad game today. To which extent do you think you guys have a goalkeeping issue, and he has an issue?
Yes, it's not, when you play, with all due respect, when you play against a 4th division team, it's not the goalkeeper, it's everything. It's the environment, it's the way we face the competition. We know that we are in the moment, everything. People will pay attention to everything. It's going to be massive, every detail. And we show that performance today. So my players spoke for me really loud.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
What's he trying to say there?
I think he may be referring to the players in the dressing room. Maybe they spoke up on his behalf, maybe. But listen, he's obviously hugely frustrated with the performance, the way they started the game. They were sloppy in possession, a lack of, like we spoke about at half time, he alluded to it there, lack of intensity, no speed in the ball, no progression with the ball, and I thought Grimsby were terrific. They stifled United. They couldn't gain a foothold in the game tonight, United, and I mean, for the first 15 minutes, I don't think we've seen United enter Grimsby's half. I mean, they penned them in. It was you didn't expect that.
Look, I know you don't want to talk about specific systems and formations, but he is saying he is seeing things there. He's not seeing anything new that isn't working. He's seeing the same things over and over again.
Yeah,
so as Natalie said to him, what do you change?
Well, I think the point Phil's making about he doesn't want to talk about, there's certain games, chappers, where that almost becomes secondary, and if you're not prepared to do the basics, when he says my players spoke for me today, or spoke with the performance, he's saying what I think a lot of us thought watching it. There's a group of players that turned up tonight And when they started that football match, did not fancy being anywhere near this game tonight. You could see it in the body language, you can see it in the attitude. Grimsby got after them. Yes, of course, at no point in that first half did they match that intensity. Did they run? They lost their duels, sprint distances, and I think that's the point he's trying to make. I've put a group of players out there tonight that should be able to go and do a job, and they haven't done it. And it's because they didn't want to do it, in my opinion, and I think he's come out and said that. The system and the formation, for me, yes, should he tweak it? Should he give the players sometimes a better framework? But if you don't do the basics right against anybody, then you come unstuck, and that's what happened for me tonight.
I've got to keep saying, like, that game tonight had nothing to do with tactics on the pitch. Tactically had nothing to do with the game. You have to go into games like that and you have to be alive from the first whistle. You know what to expect. You know it's going to be a tough game. You're playing against lesser opposition who are going to be shouting and cheering for every single ball. You've got to be so aggressive. You've got to concentrate more than ever in any game. You've got to be able to sustain attacks when you're attacking, and it was too easy for them to play out when United were attacking. And wants to put a performance in like that and play that way. I won't have that. But it just wasn't good enough. All over the pitch, they lost so many duels. Even for I think it was the first goal, Ogate and Ahmad got caught in between the duel. One of them should have at least stopped the counter-attack by a cute little foul. The goals they conceded were so basic, and they just weren't the races all over the pitch. Maybe on 75 minutes they gathered a bit of momentum, but I think that was because Grimsby tired. They got deeper and deeper, and we did call it during the show that, you know, if United get one here, they might get a second one straight away.
Well, you called, though, that it would come from Maguire, which it did. And I know Mbuemo scored, but they still had £200 million worth of new attackers on there, but it came from Harry Maguire.
Yeah, listen, he's a massive threat on set pieces in both boxes. And any time in a game like that where you need a goal and you get a corner or a set piece, you know, he might have scored one against Fulham the other day when he came on as well. So he's a huge threat. But listen, they shouldn't have been anywhere near penalties, really. I think Grimsby should have been 3-0 up early in the second half, but just it wasn't good enough.
The other interesting thing he said towards the end was, we've got a game on Saturday, we've got Burnley on Saturday, and then we've got an international break where we will sort it out.
But the sort it out is the bit I'm not quite sure where he goes with that. One, a lot of the players will be away anyway for international break. But what do? You can't get rid of. I mean, there's players there that have played so far this season. You know, you can't just go and wipe the deck. So again, for me, that then comes back to you as the manager and saying, right, am I getting the best out of this group on a consistent basis? However, I've got to do that. And it might be switching away a little bit from my belief in a system or a formation. And I just don't think he is. You look at the amount of games that he's lost during his time there, week in, week out, they are not getting the level of performance that they should be out of that. Yes, there's underperformance. Yes, there's a culture that needs a bit of a shift, but he is not getting the best out of that group.
It's a bit harsh, this, because I'm probably asking you to try and interpret what he thinks. But do you think he thinks that if he switches, that's a sign of weakness?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody who's that, you know, set on a system and formation, which is absolutely fine. That's what he was brought in to do and implement. Anybody who changes now is going to be seen as a sign of weakness for sure.
I think the players, honestly, now would crave that. If it gives them a better chance to go and win a game of football, for me, I think they would embrace that. And
if you were in that squad, would you knock on his door and go?
100%. I've been in squads, you know, where you're going between the senior pros, right, we need to go and have a chat with the gaffer in. What will give us the best way to go and win a football match? And for me, that's the next step. Like, are the characters in there now? That's the thing I would ask. You know?
I've always said that whenever I played in the back three, if you're an outside of the centre half, I've said it so many times that if you don't get the press right and you go 5-6 seconds late, it has a knock-on effect all over the pitch, and then you end up getting there late, and all of a sudden, in 2 or 3 passes, you are so disjointed all over the pitch. And it's what you're seeing in the first half. So many little corner runs down the side, 2v1. They should have scored straight after the second half kicked off. That should have been 3-0. I just felt they were so disjointed. And it's unfortunate because I watched the Arsenal game and I thought they were really good. In possession, out of possession, I thought you could see an improvement from last season. Guaranteed. Fulham first half, first 30 minutes, I thought they were really good. Attacked with intent. Could have been 2 or 3-0 up inside the first 15 minutes. But tonight we didn't see that tonight.
Shouldn't mask the fact that there are questions to be asked after that performance? No,
I don't think it will be. They've had a really, really difficult night, tough night. I just think in games of football like this, when you play lower league opposition, if you don't do the basics well, you're going to come unstuck. And in a game like tonight, you can talk to me about tactics and systems and formations. Just you had to do the basics well.
But I can ask you about systems and formations, because even when the substitutions happened, even if they weren't like for like, so Mason Mount coming on or Xerxes coming on, they still kept the same formation and put